I can hear you, Mickey. Nice to hear you.
Wonderful. Yes, actually, I see you there. That's good. Korina Gutsche has been a long-time friend and supporter. For almost 30 years, she's been consulting film production and media people all over the world. And her specialty is to raise the issue of green production. Now, we all are kind of hypnotized by Corona, but we should be well aware that the climate situation has not improved drastically since, and that everybody is called to reflect, how can I have my life, my business, my work adapted to with the challenges of the climate crisis. And this is particularly true for all people in media production, FullDome production in particular, but FullDome is no different to any other media production. It requires resources, and it requires an intelligent and smart and reasonable and earth-friendly approach to what we have. So Korina, and she's got an impressive list of things that she's done. She's been consulting major media companies, TV companies, film productions. She's a great friend of the water and of underwater beings. I also see that she's officially, since 2010, she's worked as a green consultant for TV, movies, and many things. I don't have my glasses on me, so I'm not really able to come into the fine print of the impressive list of qualities that she brings. So, Korina, maybe you can tell from your work, from your life, from your enthusiasm, and from your wisdom about green media production. It's all yours, Korina.
Okay, yeah, thank you so far, Mickey, for inviting me to your wonderful FullDome Film Festival. Of course, I was looking forward to meet you all in person, but right now we have a special situation on this planet, so we choose this way. Thank you for taking your time, listening to me for what I have to share about my main focus. Since over 30 years, I'm an environmental engineer, and I'm a production manager on film since 2010. And like Mickey already explained, I work as a green consultant, but I also teach at universities or at film fund, film institution, about what it means to produce your film eco-friendly. And I also organize since many years panels in Germany and in Europe to share the information we have, because it's still very in the beginning, green film production here in Germany. So, but why does it matter? Should I go on straight, Mickey?
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. Thank you for adding the introduction. That is important, that people get to know you. And now we're all eager to hear, what can we do? How can we approach it? And what is it that you recommend that people take into account when they want to get greener in their media production?
Yes, so I welcome everybody at Green Hour at the FullDome Film Festival in May 2020, online and in Jena. So it's time to take action. My motto is, we love making movie sustainable, because our work as filmmaker or as media companies do matters. We have an impact on the planet, because we use resources like water, energy, material, and so on. We produce waste, and we travel a lot around, so this has an impact on our planet, because the inconvenient truth since many years is that we have global warming. And there was many years, there was a big ignorance here in Germany, even inside the film industry, to care about these issues. But this is the biggest issue we are facing right now. But like always, there's hope and solution and good news, because like 2015, 193 nations committed to the 17 sustainable goals. I hope some of you already have heard about it. So if you see these 17 pictures, these are the sustainable goals. And that means like all these nations, they signed to do something different. And our focus today is number 13. It's climate, because climate change, as I said, is the biggest issue we're facing in this century. So that means we have to act. Some governments created laws or guidelines or recommendations for individuals, for companies, and so that means everybody needs to get involved to make sure that the global warming is not going higher. So we have to stop it. And to stop it for Germany, that means like there's a statistic, and it's told that like I produce during a year 10 tons CO2, and to reach the climate goals, we have to go down to 1 CO2 ton a year a person emission. So that means we should hurry up. So, and this is why it's relevant for us as a business, a growing business. Like every day all over the world there are film teams making films, and the question is how we do these films. And like in the past, it has been individuals or some regional film funds who did care, or some film companies, but not the whole media business. But this is even a good news. It's changing since last year. There's a growing awareness and understanding to act. That means we really look how we can do better to lower our carbon footprint while planning and shooting and producing and releasing and watching a film. Because what we talk about now, making your film green, it's also important for a film festival. How is the festival done? And how is the cinema operating? How eco-friendly they are. So every person in privacy and at work should rethink how we can do it different. So that means we respect the ecological boundaries, we protect our natural resources, we implement and develop innovative technologies to reduce or better stop global warming. So that means we think and act sustainable before start shooting. So early in the planning, when you just get an idea about a film and you start planning how you would do normally, you now can think different, because and that means to take care about your behavior. You have a policy, which means you go eco-friendly. You are motivated to do this, though. You speak with your team about it, so it's about communication, because it's our future what we are talking about. It's like using innovation. It's also about being creative, because there's some technology not available, so find other partners and technologies, or so it's better. You will have a better image after you feel even better when your film is not even a great story and well done. And if it's also done eco-friendly. So what about this? It feels great. It's of course about cooperation and solution. So make your first step and say, yes, I'm on board. So what does it mean?
Korina, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so far. I think I get the general idea. To my understanding, you also take notice that it's not just about goodwill and some people making individual decisions, but that the whole business model of filmmaking is changing, and that, as I understand, some of the film subsidy funds and associations require from film people that in their storyboard, in their application, they pin down what do you do to make your film green, which is of course the crucial initiative and incentive for people to do this. Is that what you notice in the film business?
Yes, of course. So like my next, are you asking me if I'm going to talk about this? Yes.
Okay, good. Go ahead. Sorry for interrupting.
Because right now we've been why it's important. Because still my experience is not that people say, yes, I got it. But it's different really to do it and to implement this topic into your shooting process. And right now we have another status quo, and I'm going to speak about this soon. Yeah. Is this okay?
Yes, perfect. Go ahead.
Okay. Next, what does it mean to make your film green? It's just find the core aspect to lower the carbon footprint and find the options. So that means reduce, recycle, and reuse. These are the three key words you have to in mind when you plan your next film. And you should decide if you want to do a small step or a big step. So you only want to go along with guidelines. Right now, we don't have any nationwide guidelines in Germany, or there's no certificate. There are just recommendations of some criteria, which I'm going to explain soon. But right now you have to decide you only go along guidelines, or you also calculate your carbon footprint. So we will be able to collect data, because right now there are no data out how big is the carbon footprint in the film business in Germany. There are some studies out in the UK and in America and in France, but not in Germany yet. We hope to have this next year. So the big step to make your film green would be just calculate your carbon footprint, and then even buy after and balance it, and buy a certificate to make your film like climate neutral. So this is a different small step. Just try what you can along guidelines, or even calculate your film. And so what are the core aspects for making your film green are what I already said. It's resources. It's how does your office, your workflow looks like. It's all about mobility, how we come to the set, how we travel in between. It's about the accommodations, the hotels where you stay. So think about this. It's about your waste management plan for your film. And it's about, of course, what you eat. It's also, the bigger the teams are, it's important if we eat vegetarian food or not. So, what's the status quo right now? Because it's really changed last year. And from the beginning of this year, we have in Germany done a big step. Because, as I said in the beginning, it has been individual, like me and some friends of mine. Now we have the whole businesses involved. So the Alliance of the Producers made their own commitment. There was in February released a common statement of private and public TV broadcasters, film funds on the regional and on the national level, even different ministries. They all committed to go greener step by step. So this we had for the first time. Since January, there is an initiative by the public TV broadcasters. That means there will be 20 TV films which will shoot it green along 16 criteria. And 3 criteria are a must. That means they have to have a green consultant like what I do. They have to make a calculation, and they have to write a report, so that we get a lot of experience. And these 20 TV films from the public TV broadcasters in Germany are part of even 100 green shooting films initiatives by a working group in Germany. So end of the year, for the first time, we have 100 films calculated with experience, good and bad ones, so we can learn from this. And we have to find out, because I'm lucky, I can work as a consultant on different film production of this 100. We will then know if these criteria, these are 17 criteria on mobility, on light, on catering, on the core aspects I recommended earlier, if they really work, if they should be a must, or if this should be a free option of a production company like you are, or a filmmaker, to use them. So even the private TV broadcasters make clear commitment, and this what we never had. And this is also important because to go greener, we need other energy, we need other generators, we need eco-friendly accommodations. So to have this, we have to create a demand, a need for this technology, that this technology will be available. And even like the cars, we don't have enough hybrid cars or electric cars or electric shuttles. We would need if everybody would like to go green now. So it's like a shift where we are in right now, and you can become a big part of it. So, and as Mickey asked me earlier, yes, there are some regional film funds, they are really in the forefront. And this is in Baden-Württemberg in Germany and in Hamburg, Schleswig-Holstein. They made it a criteria. What's great that you have, if you ask for money to fund your film as an independent filmmaker. So this is not for TV films, it's for cinema films or short films or like your films. They ask, it's a criteria to make your carbon footprint calculation, and this starts from this year. And Hamburg, they ask you to implement the issue we are talking about, like global warming, poor people, or diversity, and all these issues, like all what's about the 17th sustainable goal, to think about, to put it into the story. So it means also storytelling is getting more and more important to be funded. So this is new, and I hope that we will have soon this on a national-wide level, because right now these are just 2 areas in Germany where we have this kind of criteria. Just a look into Europe, like what's going on now, really a shift, the beginning of a shift, and I hope it's really going on. I also can see in Europe, we had so many panels during the Berlinale we never had before, like every day on green film production. So it's even in other countries, like in France, in UK, in Slovakia, in Poland, in Sweden, every country is now on board. And like even Sardinia, they have been a pioneer. So if you ever want to make a film, go there. They just work green ever. So so Europe is going forward, and in this case, California has been very in the forefront. Since over 10 years, they have guidelines, they have data tools to find the companies you need to go greener. So it's on Earth Day in April, they release like the major film studios in Hollywood, like the Motion Picture Association, they release a report what they have done to go greener. And so because they have even a much bigger impact than we do have here in Germany, because their films are hundreds of thousands of people involved. And so that's the status quo. I'm lucky, so it's really going forward. What else? So for your film, for instance, you think about this now, means make your commitment as a producer or as a film company or as a TV broadcaster. I don't know who's in the audience or who's listening to me. Make your own green shooting list based on the criteria you are given from the TV broadcaster. You are hired to make a film, or for the so like the criteria on the TV broadcasters because they might be different from the guidelines which you will be given from original film fund, like the Green Shooting Pass. You can have in two areas. This is Baden-Württemberg, or if you ask for the Green Shooting Card in Hamburg, Schleswig-Holstein, they have guidelines with much more criteria. Just go through and pick up the one you feel ready to implement for your own film project. Because I've done this with students, because like making a student film is different than doing a short film or making a 330 degrees film. So not all criteria might work for your film, but pick up what you think what could work, then find the partners, make your calculation. And so like the TV broadcaster and even the film fund on the regional and national level in Germany, they support you financially with some money if you hire a consultant, or if there are more costs to use green energy, or go only by train, or not using a diesel generator you like, or like a hybrid car, and they are to rent them, or maybe a little bit more expensive. So put this into your calculation. So make your green calculation. And then if you decided to make the big step, you should collect your data, because there are carbon footprint calculators. You can find them online. They're different, depends on what country you are. Yeah, so these are commitment, make your own list. Of course, what's important, get your team on board, communication, make your own tools, speak with everybody. The earlier, the better. So the green consultant, so you can hire me, or you can find someone in your country, and you have to decide if this is a freelance person or if it's an employee, but make sure he has the knowledge on making a film and on sustainability, and he must be passionate about this, and also that he's looking for finding solutions, and that he has social skills and competence to inspire your team. Yeah.
Korina? Hello, Korina?
Yeah, this is how it works.
Thank you, because I think the quality of being passionate and competent is something that you have communicated, that you are communicating very well. I also like the idea to learn. This is something that's not just some minority people thinking. This is a major shift. And you quoted a number of regional film funds, but you also gave us an overview of the international scene, that in America, in other countries, other continents, everybody is not just doing this as a hobby, but as a necessity, as a requirement, out of conviction, out of passion for good movies and a healthy life on this planet. And I think in a way, since Corona has forced us into a state of deep reflection, making a pause with everything is also a chance to step back, and as you plan for a time when we can move again, that we then move differently, move gentle, move green, and calculate films that incorporate these issues. So there are incentives, there are also a little bit of pressure from nature, and there are individuals who make decisions on how they want to go about with their media project. And as you mentioned, student films may be easier to have the green quality, but for other companies it may be helpful if you can give us your website. I don't know if the studio can insert the Blue Child Vision website of Korina, which then connects everybody who is interested with Korina and her work. And maybe if you can add what are available open source resources that people can move into if they, after having made the commitment, also want to find the tools to work towards green movie and green FullDome movie making.
Yeah. Yeah, so where to find more information? Yes, of course, you can go on my website, you can email me, and then I can tell you, depending on what country, because I have a huge network all over the world, who has information, like in Austria, or who's the person in Slovakia you should contact. And normally to find the tools and information, you should go on the button sustainability for your film fund in the region and also in the country you're living in. Or even like if you work for broadcasters, just ask them and find out more about what they do on sustainability. Because like in Germany, not every film fund has a green shooting service website, but some of them have, like Bavaria. And there you find what they fund, what they want you to do. So they have guidelines and recommendations. They have a database with companies like hotels or cars or LED rental service and things like this, because this is different in every region. So so this is where you can look to find some information more. And I also know that the European Film Fund, so it's more, so the Film Fund, the Film Commission in your area might be responsible, or the Alliance. Like, so in Germany, we have the Alliance of the Producers. They have marked on the sustainability button, and there you find their recommendation, and then you find other links as well. And so for America, just go on the website of the Producers Guild of America, and then you will find there like everything what you like to have.
Great. So these tools are available, and so there is no excuse not to look into the issue and get inspired by how creativity is not only desirable for the film, but also for the way the film is produced and how resources are being used in a sensitive and considerate way. Thank you very much, Korina. I think we learned a lot, and we'll hear more from your department of green filmmaking. Do you have some famous recommendations for people as a closing statement from your end?
Yeah, thank you for for listening to me. Yes, I have a last wish that we as filmmakers take a leading role to put the issue we were talking about today maybe into the story, to bring awareness about green issues and solutions, and that we also make transparent that we use innovative green technology to make our films. And so share this with the audience, share this with your partners. So because it's not what we're talking, it's not about I have the knowledge, it's about learning all together and sharing. And one just easy thing to go greener with your film is just drink normal drinking water instead of using water out of a bottle, because with this you already reduce your carbon footprint, because there is no filling up into a bottle and bringing the bottle to your place and bringing it back. We can save all this. Just drink the water you get out of the pipe if it's possible on vacation. So this is just very easy. So this is so far, and because, so I end with my motto: we all love making movies sustainable, and stay all safe, and hope to see you in person.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I hear virtual audiences clapping in their CyberView stay-at-home device. May your wish come true. We'll be in touch, and everybody else take this opening lecture or presentation of the Frameless Forum of the Jena FullDome Festival to heart. And so we'll make a short break, and then we have something else coming up in the Frameless Forum today. Goodbye, Korina. Stay safe and happy. Bye.
And that's Green Hour. Stay safe.